Have you ever wondered what really happens in the book of Revelation? This cryptic text, filled with apocalyptic symbols and visions, is not just a prediction of the end times, but a rich tapestry of lessons and warnings that resonate to this day. The woman, the beast, and the final judgment in Revelation, Explained, unravels these powerful images to reveal not only humanity's ultimate destiny, but also how daily choices shape our collective future. Imagine a world where divine justice confronts the greatest injustices, where perseverance and faith are tested to the extreme. Revelation shows us this scenario, challenging our perception of morality and destiny. Through the woman clothed with the sun and the beast emerging from the sea, we explore the eternal conflict between good and evil, a struggle that transcends the biblical narrative and strikes at the heart of our current existence. This is not just a guide to understanding ancient prophecies, but a call to reflect on how we live today. For many, the book of Revelation is a tangle of visions and symbols that seems to defy understanding. However, when diving into its context, we find that this is the last book of the New Testament written by the Apostle John. This text not only closes the Bible, but offers a profound theological conclusion about the destiny of humanity and the universe. For example, understanding this book can be comparable to cracking a code that, once understood, reveals the trajectory of all human existence, as mentioned in Revelation 1:1, which highlights the revelation of Jesus Christ. The importance of this book goes beyond its apocalyptic visions. It is an invitation to reflect on faith and perseverance in the face of adversity. After all, Revelation presents a series of judgments and final events that culminate in the victory of good over evil, as illustrated in Revelation 20:12-15, where the dead are judged according to their works. On a day-to-day basis, this can be seen as an incentive to overcome one's own personal beasts and challenges while keeping one's faith intact, similar to the early Christians who faced extreme persecution and hardship. While some people see in Revelation a reason for fear, others see it as a source of hope and renewal. Symbolisms such as the woman and the beast, for example, can be interpreted in a variety of ways, from the struggle between good and evil to more personal depictions of our daily struggles, as described in Revelation 12:1, where the woman clothed with the sun faces the dragon. This makes Revelation not just a book of prophecy, but a work rich in teachings about resilience and redemption. Thus, as we face challenges in our lives, we can remember the lessons of this sacred text, applying them to find strength and direction. In the book of Revelation, the figure of the woman is surrounded by mystery and profound interpretations. In Revelation 12, the woman is described as being clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. A rich symbolism that has fascinated scholars and theologians over the centuries. This image may represent the Church, Israel, or even an embodiment of divine goodness and creation, highlighting the eternal struggle between good and evil and God's ongoing protection over his creations. The story of the woman in the Apocalypse is also a story of resistance and strength. She faces persecution from the dragon, who represents evil in its most direct form, trying to devour her son as soon as he is born. This scenario resonates with the daily struggle against adversity we encounter, encouraging believers to keep the faith even in the most challenging circumstances. The practical application of these lessons can be seen in the resilience needed to overcome personal challenges, such as those faced by leaders and movements advocating for justice and integrity. The interaction between the woman and the dragon in Revelation also serves as a powerful metaphor for vigilance and resistance against evil. In Revelation 12:14, the woman is given eagle's wings to flee into the wilderness, where she is protected for a time. This episode illustrates the promise of salvation and support in times of adversity, suggesting that despite impending hardship, there is always a refuge and hope for those who persist in the faith. This narrative can be applied to encouraging us to maintain hope and faith in turbulent times, something we can all integrate into our life journey. The figure of the beast in Revelation is one of the most intriguing and discussed in all of Scripture. Described in Revelation 13, the beast emerges from the sea with 10 horns and 7 heads, displaying blasphemies against God. This potent symbol is often interpreted as the embodiment of evil and oppression, representing corrupt systems and powers that rise up against divine principles. As in real life, we face beasts in the form of institutions or ideologies that challenge morals and ethics, pushing us to take firm positions in defense of justice. In addition, the beast in Revelation is marked by the number 6666, a riddle that has sparked debates and theories over the centuries. This number, as described in Revelation 13:18, is a symbol of imperfection and falsehood, in direct contrast to the divine perfection symbolized by the number 7. In daily practice, this concept alerts us to the caution and discernment necessary to recognize falsehoods and manipulations in our society, encouraging a critical stance and attentive to the hidden intentions behind certain actions and words. The confrontation between the beast and God's followers in Revelation highlights the eternal struggle between good and evil, a dynamic that we can observe in many spheres of life. While believers are called upon to resist the mark of the beast, this resistance can be seen symbolically in the refusal to give in to dishonest or inhumane practices, whether in the workplace, in personal relationships, or in political decisions. This is a powerful reminder that while temptations are great and trials severe, integrity and virtue must prevail. The covenant between God and the woman in Revelation is a theme loaded with spiritual significance. In Revelation 12, this symbolic figure faces severe persecution, but is promised divine protection and care. This special relationship illustrates God's enduring commitment to those who faithfully follow Him. Similarly, in our daily lives, this covenant can be reflected in the support and guidance we perceive in times of need, offering a comforting parallel to God's promise of safety. The connection between God and the woman also symbolizes the relationship between the Creator and creation, highlighting the vital role that faithfulness plays in our spiritual lives. Just as the woman is sustained in the wilderness for a set time, we too can find sustenance in our trials, as long as we keep our faith. This divine support is not just an abstract promise. It is a reality that we can observe in the small daily victories and miracles if we are attentive to the signs around us. Moreover, this alliance is a source of strength and inspiration. It teaches us about the importance of standing firm in our principles and values, even when confronted by forces that seem insurmountable. This teaching is crucial in a world where we are often tested on our resilience and integrity. As we reflect on this relationship between God and the woman, we are encouraged to persist, knowing that our journey is aligned with a greater purpose and a promise of renewal and hope. At the heart of the book of Revelation is the epic conflict between the woman and the dragon, a narrative that transcends time and space, symbolizing the cosmic confrontation between good and evil. In Revelation 12:3-9, the dragon, an imposing and menacing figure, seeks to destroy the woman and her child, a representation of evil's constant threat against innocence and purity. This powerful symbolism reflects the daily struggles against forces that try to subvert order and morals, urging us to maintain vigilance and the defense of fundamental values. The drama between the woman and the dragon is not only a spiritual battle, but also a lesson in endurance and hope. The dragon is eventually defeated and cast out of the sky, symbolizing the promise of victory over the adversities we face. This outcome offers an optimistic outlook for those who feel overwhelmed or challenged by the dragons of their own lives, such as personal, social, or professional challenges that seem insurmountable. The woman's perseverance in the face of the dragon's persecution teaches about the importance of faith and community support in times of crisis. Just as the woman receives help to take refuge in the desert, so too can we find refuge and support in our community and beliefs. This narrative invites each one to reflect on how we can support each other, strengthening our support network to face and overcome collective and individual challenges, reinforcing the idea that no adversity is eternal and that together we can overcome great obstacles. The woman's journey into the wilderness, as recounted in Revelation 12:6, is a powerful metaphor for divine refuge and protection in times of adversity. The desert, often associated with trials and isolation, is transformed here into a sanctuary of salvation and heavenly care. This passage is a vivid reminder that even in the most desolate moments, we are not alone. There is a greater force that guides and protects us, a comforting echo for all who go through periods of uncertainty in their own lives. The meaning of the desert as a place of refuge is broadly applicable to our contemporary experiences. Often moments of isolation or difficulty are the ones that allow us to grow spiritually and emotionally, developing a resilience that only adversity can teach. Just as woman is sustained for a certain time in the desert, so we can use our deserts to refine our skills, strengthen our character, and reaffirm our core values. Moreover, divine protection in the wilderness is a symbol of hope that transcends the biblical narrative and reaches into the reality of each person. We can find parallels in stories of individuals who, despite adverse circumstances, have found ways to thrive with the support of their communities or through unwavering faith. These true stories reinforce the message of Revelation that no matter how dry the crossing, there is always a promise of renewal and redemption on the horizon. The 1260 days mentioned in Revelation 12:6 are a symbolic period of time filled with meaning and implications for prophetic understanding. This number, representing time, times, and half of a time, is crucial to understanding the duration of the divine protection granted to the woman in the desert. This interval suggests a period of trial and purification, where believers are called to endure adversity while keeping their faith intact. In the same way, we can see this duration as representative of difficult phases in our own lives, where perseverance becomes a key element for overcoming. This period can also be seen as an allegory for any major challenge or significant change in life. For example, think about career transitions, recovery from serious illnesses, or major personal projects, which often require a set amount of dedication and continuous effort. In this context, the 1260 days remind us that even the longest and most challenging journeys have an end, and that there is value and growth to be found in the process of traversing these eras of our existence. Additionally, the symbolism of the 1260 days encourages us to reflect on the importance of patience and faith during times of uncertainty. Just like the woman in the desert, we often find ourselves in situations where the only option is to move forward, trusting that our actions and beliefs will guide us through difficult times. This perspective can be applied not only to personal challenges, but also to collective endeavors, such as social movements or community initiatives that require commitment and long-term vision. In Revelation, the two beasts represent earthly powers that exert significant influence over humanity, often interpreted as figures of political and religious authority. The first beast, described in Revelation 13:1-2, arises from the sea and is marked by blasphemy and persecution against the saints, an evident parallel with authoritarian regimes that suppress freedom and impose their will through power. The second beast, which emerges from the earth, as per Revelation 13:11, manipulates through religion, leading people to worship the first beast and deceiving them with false miracles. These figures are powerful metaphors for the challenges faced by societies throughout history, where both political and religious leaders have misused their power to manipulate and control the masses. In the current context, this can be seen in how certain leaders use their position to instill extremist ideologies or to consolidate power in an unethical way, alerting us to the need for vigilance and critical discernment to recognize these influences in our own time. Furthermore, the interaction between these two beasts illustrates the complex relationship between politics and religion, where we often see how these spheres can intertwine in ways that profoundly affect governance and social life. This dynamic invites us to reflect on our own involvement and responsibility in maintaining a healthy balance between these forces, ensuring that we do not allow our spiritual or political power to be used to oppress or deceive. On a practical level, this can mean actively participating in community and political life, ensuring that our voices are heard and that our leaders are accountable. The number 666, mentioned in Revelation 13:18, is one of the most enigmatic and discussed elements of Revelation. Traditionally seen as the number of the beast, it is often associated with evil in its most direct form. This number symbolizes imperfection and the total absence of divinity, contrasting with the number 7, which in biblical tradition represents completeness and perfection. The fascination and awe surrounding 6666 reflect the profound impact that number symbols can have on our cultural and spiritual understanding. The interpretation of 6666 as a warning against complete adherence to corrupt and evil systems is a potent reminder of the vigilance we must maintain against deceptive influences in our own lives. Whether in political choices, financial investments, or even interpersonal relationships, discernment is crucial to avoid being led by deceptive appearances that promise a lot, but are fundamentally flawed. Thus, 666 can serve as a symbol of caution, encouraging us to look for integrity and authenticity in our decisions. Additionally, the beast number provides an opportunity for reflection on the values that govern our lives. In a world where success is often measured by materialistic and superficial criteria, 666 challenges us to reconsider what we truly value and to seek a path that is aligned with ethical and moral principles. This can manifest itself in choosing careers that promote the common good, in preferring conscious consumption practices, or in supporting initiatives that foster justice and equality. The judgment of the nations, described in Revelation 20:11-15, represents the eschatological climax where all entities, both human and supernatural, are evaluated according to their actions and intentions. This monumental event is not only an end, but a beginning of a new order where justice prevails and evil is definitively eradicated. This concept resonates deeply in our collective consciousness, where the quest for justice often seems never-ending and complex. This final judgment brings up the idea of universal responsibility, where no one can escape the consequences of their actions. In daily life, this serves as a powerful reminder to live ethically and consciously, knowing that our choices have impacts that go beyond ourselves. For example, decisions about sustainable consumption or civic engagement are not just individual preferences, but acts that contribute to collective well-being and the construction of a fairer world. In addition, Revelation encourages us to reflect on the nature of evil and good, and on our own position in this eternal battle. As we consider global challenges such as social injustices, inequality, and environmental degradation, we are called to act as agents of change, promoting kindness and integrity in all our interactions. This perspective is crucial to foster a society where the final judgment is a reflection of a humanity that has consciously chosen the path of righteousness and compassion. The narrative of the apocalypse culminates in the definitive victory of the woman over the beast, a symbol of the triumph of good over evil and divine redemption over the forces of destruction. In Revelation 19:20, the beast is captured and cast into the lake of fire, marking the end of his evil influence. This victory not only symbolizes the overcoming of spiritual adversity, but also inspires the faithful to maintain hope and determination in the face of life's own battles. The defeat of the beast reaffirms the central theme of Revelation. Divine sovereignty and justice prevail, even when all seems lost. For us, on a daily basis, this translates into a message of perseverance and faith. As we face our own challenges, whether it's overcoming personal problems, fighting social injustices, or seeking sanity in turbulent times, we can find solace and motivation in this symbolic outcome. Furthermore, the victory of the woman and the triumph of Christ offer a vision of a world restored and purified of its ills. This promise of renewal is a call for each of us to contribute to the construction of a more just and harmonious reality. Whether through community action, sustainable practices, or efforts to promote peace and equality, we are invited to be an active part of this transformation, reflecting heavenly values in our daily lives. The figure of the woman in the Apocalypse is often interpreted as a representation of the Church, a community of believers who, despite persecution and adversity, persevere in the faith. This symbolism, described in Revelation 12, where the woman is persecuted by the dragon but stands firm, underscores the role of the Church as the bearer of divine light in the midst of the darkness of the world. The Church, like the woman, is seen as a refuge for the afflicted and a beacon of hope, showing that collective faith has the power to overcome the greatest adversities. This view of woman as a symbol of the Church also emphasizes the importance of community in the spiritual journey. Just as the woman receives divine support and protection, Church members are encouraged to support each other, strengthening their faith through fellowship. This interaction not only enriches the individual spiritual life, but also strengthens the Church as a whole, allowing it to play its crucial role in the world as an agent of change and morality. In addition, the Church's role in the symbolism of the woman highlights the responsibility of each believer to live according to divine teachings. By adopting a lifestyle that reflects the values of the gospel, we contribute to the Church's mission to spread the word and love of God. This involves acts of charity, social justice, and a commitment to truth and integrity, which are fundamental to the Church's positive impact on society. The presence of false prophets and the second beast in Revelation serves as a stern warning against deception and spiritual manipulation. In Revelation 13:11-15, the second beast, also known as the false prophet, emerges from the earth, possessing the appearance of a lamb but speaking like a dragon. This contrast warns believers of the dangers of being seduced by those who, despite a benign facade, promote corrupt teachings and lead people astray from the true faith. This topic is extremely relevant in our daily lives, where we often find figures who, although charismatic and persuasive, can lead to harmful beliefs and actions. The ability to discern between true spiritual leaders and those who seek only personal power or manipulation is crucial to maintaining the integrity of faith and religious practice. In a practical context, this translates into being well-informed about the teachings of the faith, actively participating in the religious community, and seeking guidance from reliable sources. Additionally, the warning about false prophets encourages us to reflect on authenticity and honesty in all areas of our lives. Whether at work, in personal relationships, or in social interactions, integrity is an indispensable value. This reminds us that just as believers are called to watch against deception in the spiritual realm, we must apply the same level of care and discretion in our daily relationships and choices, always seeking truth and justice. In the book of Revelation, the mention of the 144,000 sealed is a theme that captures the imagination and prompts deep reflection. In Revelation 7:4-8, these are described as being sealed from all the tribes of the children of Israel, symbolizing special divine protection in times of great tribulation. This group is often interpreted as representatives of those who remain faithful to God despite extreme adversity, a concept that resonates with the idea of resilience and unwavering commitment to the highest principles. The figure of the 144,000 also evokes a reflection on election and special mission within the community of faith. Each of us, on our spiritual journey, can see ourselves as part of this symbolism, called to live according to values that transcend the pressures and temptations of the secular world. This can manifest itself in acts of moral courage, upholding justice, and maintaining integrity in situations where corruption and discouragement seem to prevail. In addition, the example of the 144,000 sealed inspires a wider community to aspire to holiness and dedicated service. They remind us that while we may not face the same apocalyptic trials, every challenge we face is an opportunity to affirm our faith and our commitment to the ideals we choose to follow. This perspective can encourage actions that promote peace, understanding, and cooperation between different groups and cultures, reinforcing the role of the faith community as a force for global good. The 7 vials of God's wrath, described in Revelation 16, are poured out on the earth as a manifestation of divine judgment against the nations that persist in wickedness. Each cup carries with it a specific plague that symbolizes different aspects of the punishment deserved for moral and spiritual transgressions. This apocalyptic event is a vivid reminder that unjust and corrupt actions have severe consequences, not only in a spiritual context, but also on a moral and social plane. The symbolism of the bowls of wrath can be seen as a warning to modern societies about the importance of living according to ethical and righteous principles. Just as wicked nations face retribution for their wickedness, in our daily lives, unfair and harmful practices eventually lead to negative outcomes, whether through social conflicts, economic crises, or environmental disasters. This understanding encourages reflection on how our collective actions reflect our values and the kind of world we are building. In addition, the bowls of God's wrath challenge us to consider our responsibility to promote justice and righteousness. In an era of complex global challenges, such as climate change and social inequalities, every choice we make can contribute to a make-or-break scenario. Thus, inspired by the apocalyptic example, we are called to adopt sustainable and just practices that ensure a better future for all nations, reaffirming our commitment to divine justice and global ethics. The vision of the new heaven and the new earth, presented in Revelation 21, symbolizes the consummation of the divine plan, where everything is restored and renewed after the final judgment. This idyllic setting reflects the promise of a world where there is no more pain, tears, or suffering, and where justice and peace reign supreme. It is a powerful image that inspires hope and offers comfort to those who yearn for a better future, free from the ills and conflicts that plague our earthly existence. This concept of total renewal goes beyond a simple spiritual promise. It encourages everyone to reflect on how we can contribute to creating a better world here and now. Whether through involvement in initiatives that promote environmental sustainability, social justice, or simply through the daily practice of kindness and compassion, our every action can be seen as a step towards this promised new world. Furthermore, the idea of a new heaven and a new earth challenges us to reimagine our own lives and communities. How can we build spaces that more clearly reflect the values of justice, peace, and love that we wish to see in the world? This prophetic vision not only serves as a consolation, but also as a call to action, motivating us to actively participate in the transformation of the world, inspired by God's promise of renewal and hope. As we delve deeper into the visions of Revelation, we realize that the stories of the woman, the beast, and the Last Judgment are more than ancient prophetic texts. They are reflections of the daily struggles and decisions we face. Now that we have unraveled the symbols and lessons contained in these accounts, the challenge is to apply this wisdom in our lives. How can you contribute to a more just and compassionate world? What beasts are you facing, and how can you overcome them with integrity and faith? We are called not only to reflect, but to act. Every choice we make contributes to the fabric of our society and ultimately to the world we will leave for generations to come. What will be your role in this epic journey between good and evil? How can you use what you've learned here to make a difference? If this dive into Revelation has sparked new ideas or strengthened your faith, don't keep these revelations to yourself. Share, discuss, and join the community of truth seekers. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue exploring the mysteries and messages that shape our spiritual and earthly reality. Together, we can face the challenges of the present with the wisdom of the past, building a future that reflects the best of humanity.